Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Muhammad NAZIRUL bin SHARIP, matric number BI22110433. Today I will presenting my final project for the course network programming, and my title of my project is blockchain based voting system Malaysia version. Firstly, in Malaysia, elections are the foundation of democracy, especially in a country like Malaysia. However, as our world becomes more digital, traditional voting methods show limitation in terms of transparency and accessibility. This project introduced a secure online voting system built using blockchain technology, a method that ensures vote cannot be tampered with and results are fully traceable and transparent by others. As for the background, as we know, the current manual and even some digital voting systems are still vulnerable to manipulation and fraud out there. Blockchains offer a solution with its decentralized and tamper-proof structure. In my system, each vote becomes a block that is linked securely to the previous block one, and it is also customized to comply with Malaysian IC format and voter eligibility rules, which is above 17 years old. Next is for my objective. The objective of my projects are: first one is to develop a blockchain-based web voting system. Second is for ensure immutability of each vote using blockchain chaining. After that, authenticate voters by verifying their Malaysian IC numbers and age, which is 17 years old and above. Other than that, I'm using Flash to build the backend of my web. Then display the transparent voting result and full blockchain data, which is decentralized. And lastly, demonstrate the cryptography validation and network programming concept. After that, we are looking for my methodology. I use a modular development approach, which I am dividing the system into clear phases, which are eligibility checking for IC number. After that, vote casting. Other than that is blockchain entry, and lastly the result display. The backend is built with Flash for routing, and front-end interaction are handled via HTML and CSS, also Java. This structure keeps the code base clean and easier to manage. Okay, for the tools and technology I use, first one is I use Python version 3.12 for backend development. Then I'm using Flash for routing and app logic. Then HTML and CSS for the web interface as usual. And there are other technologies or tools which is I am using RAW to expose my local host to internet for testing my web. And lastly, the important one is I'm using WSL Ubuntu as my development environment for compatibility and performance. We move to the implementation phase. Firstly, I'm going to go through my blockchain implementation. Okay, for first one, I create a custom blockchain Python file. Then first, I generate a Genesis block as a startup. Then every new vote become a block with hash voter ID and selected candidate and also timestamp. Then each block links to the previous one via hashing. Then this prevents tampering and ensures the data integrity in voting system. And lastly, to avoid double voting, I store a set of hash IC and reject repeat. Okay, next I'm going through for the IC and age verification. To make the system valid for Malaysia, I implemented IC number validation, which it checks for a 12-digit format using regular expression, usually for Malaysian IC number. Then It then extracts birth date from the IC number to calculate the age of the voters. Then only user age above 17 years old and above can proceed to vote the system. And lastly, any invalid IC or underage entry is rejected with an error message. For example, underage if the birth date is below 17. Okay, for this one, you can see that the continue code from the previous code, which is web app Python, and it shows the result for the HTML and chain HTML that will verify the chain and will show render the result on the web later. And lastly, for the system architecture, this system has three main layers, which are front layer. I'm using HTML and CSS to handle the voting form and result page. Second one is application layer, where I'm using the flasking, which is to manage the logic and user interaction. For example of the logic is IC and edge verification. And lastly, blockchain layer, where it manages block, hashes, and verification. This layer approach ensure separation of concern and maintainable structure in my system. Okay, this one is for the eligibility check HTML, where it shows the interface when user enter the when they want to check their eligibility during voting. This one is for chain HTML. This one is for the result HTML, where it will show the voter the bar chart that which candidate is got more votes. This one is for the verify chain, where it shows the output, the UI for output that shows the chain is securely verified and not tampered. Next, I'm going to show the demo how to interact with my system, also the result from my system. Next, I'm going to show the demo of NGRO, which is it is used to test the system on real devices, on multiple devices. Firstly, I start the fast server, then run NGRO HTTP 5000 in another terminal, and it's provide a public URL for access via other device, and this allow testing in real voting behavior outside my local machine. And let's look for our demo. Ultimately, I have developed a working prototype of blockchain-based voting system tailored to Malaysian voters. For the key highlight is the first one, my system tamper-proof and traceable blockchain voting. Other than that, my system also use Malaysian IC verification. Next, it shows the real-time result visualization using bar chart, and lastly the Flash and Python integration. And I've learned a lot about blockchain, web app design, and the challenge of building secure system in practice. That's all from me. Thank you.